likely that they will not be supporting the actions of these G5 governors. Does it constitute it? And what sanctions do you think the party could take? One of which has been muted or by some unnamed source, the parties to the various states and appointing caretaker committees. In other words, taking over the party structures from the governors, and this would affect them. 3 of them want to go to the Senate. One of them, the governor in Oyo State, Makinde, is seeking re-election as governor. And even though the Rivers State governor is not contesting any election, as it were, he does have loyalists in Rivers State who are contesting various political positions within the state and even at the national level as well. So they might be affected by this. But I'd like to get your take. Or do you think there are other sanctions the party could mete out to them if you consider their actions as anti-party? The line's open. Call 0700 923 093. That's 0700 923 093. We're live on facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH. We're live on Twitter as well at Nigeria Info PH. Once again, at the moment, the conversation, PDP considers expulsion of G5 governors, dissolution of party structures in their states. The actions of these G5 governors, do they constitute anti-party activities? I believe they are in the UK at the moment, well, at least they were yesterday, where they went to hold another strategic meeting or series of meetings, possibly, as they have been doing for some time right now. I do remember asking yesterday why they have to travel outside the continent to go hold these meetings. Are there no suitable meeting places in Nigeria or Rivers or Benue or your state for that matter? However, do you consider the actions of these governors as anti-party? Especially, I mean, everything they've done thus far, like I said, I think at the start of the show today, I don't know what other signs the PDP is waiting for. Well, it's seen many signs already. Maybe for the PDP, all of the existing signs do not constitute anti-party activities. Maybe an official or formal declaration of support for the presidential candidate of another party will formalize things. Even though, once again, it must be remembered, however, that in Lagos State, when the Rivers State governor went there for some function, he publicly endorsed the Lagos State governor for re-election. And by the way, the Lagos State governor is on the platform of the APC and not the PDP. So, is it okay to endorse another candidate from another party at a different level as long as we endorse the PDP candidate? You know, just thinking out loud. So, is it okay if members of the G5 group or the G5 governors endorse candidates from other parties as long as it's for other elections other than the presidential election? So, you know, that's a bit confusing as well. Because once again, the Rivers State governor did somewhat endorse the Lagos State governor for re-election, and he belongs to the APC. 90.3, hello, you're welcome. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. The issue of the G5 governors and the threat of... by the way, my names are Comrade SPS Active. I'm calling for Oguna Valley Active. So the issue of the G5 governors, I think for me, the National Working Committee is afraid of this, even this G5 governor. If not, they have done everything they should have done that will warrant sanction. They have not done that because they were afraid and looking for if they will come back. Now they have gone to exit and they are still waiting for signs and wonder before you should sanction them. I'm seeing it as a sign of fear. This is pure fear from the National Working Committee. They will not do them anything. But
hold on, dude. But I'm also asking you, the actions of these governors thus far, Are they anti-party?
I said they have done more than was supposed to have expelled all of them, but because of the National Working Committee, who was afraid of them, and they are still afraid of them.
So are you suggesting then that even if they go ahead to announce their support for a different presidential candidate, the party will still do nothing?
The party will not do nothing because Nelson Wike have told them to their face. Say any day they try, last time they threatened that they're going to, say any day they try, he will help them and a very PDP. And they are afraid that he will not take it because he has all it takes to do that. He has the money, all these trips and other things. He is sponsoring them, alleged. So they are afraid of him, and if they try, that you believe in me, he will help them to sing PDP.
Yeah, but supporting, endorsing candidates of other parties at governorship level or even at the presidential level, is that not already amounting to sinking the party? What other sinking is required?
They have attacked the party, but I still see their hand waving and calling for help. The one they will do now, they will sink it, they will not see their hand that they will raise for any help. And that is why they are afraid. Believe in me, the National Working Committee is afraid of Nelson Wike and his group. If not, they have committed so many offenses that will warrant expulsion since. They were pampering them and to see if they will come back. But they have seen that they meant what they are saying. So there's nothing else. They need no sign. All these signs they are waiting for is a sign of cowardice. That's all.
All right. Once again, number to call 0700 923 0923. That number is active and it's the only number that you are allowed to call at this time if you want to join the conversation. Hello, hard fact to welcome. Please go on.
Hello, Dayo. Good afternoon.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. My name is ID, and I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Go on.
Just to tell you that this G-5 governor issue, Nigerian factor will come in. I might not be 100% correct, but trust me, when those guys will come back from UK, the first thing you will hear that there is a court injunction barring the party not to expel them or to sack them or to do whatever, and the battle will begin from there. That's just my own little contribution.
But have they engaged in anti-party activities?
Already, what has been playing out, there has been a lot of anti-party issues. Endorsement of Lagos State Governor is one thing. Even when Obi came, I work for him is one thing. All those things, they are anti-party. So, but they know their fear. They know why they're still pending all these issue of sack or no sack.
So if the governors return or when they return from the UK, if they go ahead to proclaim support for the candidate of another party at the presidential level, what do you think the party will or should do?
Of course, the party will know better. For example, if I know that you offended me, but if I punish you, maybe you have a bigger punishment for me. You have somebody you can send to me through the back to rake me down. I'll be careful in punishing you. So they know all their fears. That's what I meant by they knew their fears. So it depends on what the power they feel the G5 governors have. And that's why they've been careful on how they are dealing with them.
But do you think the G5 governors really have that much power to warrant the party being afraid of them?
This is politics. And the party and the persons in the party we know think everybody can pull. So I'm not a member of PDP.
You have me as well. Right, again, 0700 939 is not joining via Facebook and Twitter at Nigerian for PH and at Nigeria IH Facebook and Twitter. Via Facebook, New King video closed. Promise goes with PDP goes ahead to dissolve the structure in Rivers State. And any junction with its G-5 visibility. With a court injunction to us, we will lose structure, the may must leave. The box will be unleashed to discredit him, to give APC and STP some leverage. Situation. Yes, it does and later on. Let's get the call. Hello, hard fact to welcome. Please go on.
Good evening.
Go ahead.
That is anti-party. Commit anti-competition. The company here is the Enugu, the boy. I think the action.
Yeah, the has as well.
marking the two.
Yes.
Not for the staff officer. We did have their level.
Well, I don't think that the PDP can change its the candidate. Only very new electoral laws. Only candidate can from an election.
Okay. So if they go from
Possibly. We will have to interrogate the law on that.
Because of any issues, definitely they will be dead. Because it has to be like holding them on the board. Do you understand? And I think it's on the constitution and the INEC concept. If they have that, because they need to have a plan. There are people following Wike, but I don't even think they're following Wike all about. Wike has his own plan. Wike looking for a way to SSG or general, some key positions. His own case between the two people. These other guys following him up and down, not knowing that they have ambition.
Well, if you're right, and the River State has ambitions. He also mentioned the other governors have ambitions as well. So maybe everybody's working for their own ambitions. They're chief officers of states. Even if the allocations are smaller than River State, there's still a lot of money.
My brother, they know the implications of what they're going to face if they don't win this election. So they have to go behind Wike to see how he can use his own political position to also help them in their state.
But nothing was really threatening their candidature if had not what anti-PDP activities. They won't be at loggerheads with their party. There won't be any danger of being expelled. There won't be any party straw being taken away from them.
From what they will either
What constitutes anti-party activity? Caution to me long overdue. Maybe the center, as for me, the G5 governors are already in trouble if they declare support for another presidential candidate. I want to see how the one from my state will convince my grandmother in the village to vote for him as senator, but for another party for president in an election happening on the same day. That's a problem for him, and that's Dave from Port Harcourt. Barry on Facebook, it's time for the party to pull PDP legally. Because the party constitution it's time for best to prospect governors, but can't the elected city and board excos. Further, has also been involved in anti-party activities. For instance, Manchester Condos and in campaign, as well as spending in other states. So no moral or ethical justification for dissolving the party executives. And that's some. Okay, all right. IPT Autumn, produced someone was fighting for his own action 5 leader, party joined the shoots for that night. PDP.
Yeah, I think if they go and dissolve the culture in those 5 states, it will affect PDP nationally to disturb them. But what I want to say is that them suspending the G governors might not have any effect on them, on the G governors. And or they might not be able to succeed because remember this impunity has been in PDP since 2015. This center happened in PDP when they supported Buhari against Jonathan. Nothing happened to them, and we came there bearing this in mind. So for me, PDP is in a very big dilemma. They're in a very big crossroad. Even if they suspend this, they will not. They might not accept the suspension. They will continue. Because we can always see PDP as his property, and rightly so, because of what has happened in the past. So for me, PDP is a very big mess. I don't know how they will come out of it.
All right. Ebola Michael goes, the actions of the G5 is not anti-party. The word anti-party is not in the Nigerian constitution. Anything that is not in the constitution does not have any legal backing. The matter is simple. When some governors threw their weight behind Buhari presidential bid in 2014, they decamped from PDP to APC. Led G5 governors joined the party of the preferred candidate and saved themselves the shame of expulsion. No bigger anti-party activity than working for success of another party's candidate, and that's from Victor. Absolutely, they should be suspended because this is nothing but anti-party. Besides, the party can't run this on structure of the governor's loyalists. They're just wasting their time. Ayu will stay, and that's from Andy. Now, if the PDP musters courage to suspend their party structures in the so-called G5 states, will any person within the party be eligible to contest in those states? And that's from Prince. That's a tricky one, I perceive. That's a tricky one. because once again, based on the new electoral laws, only a candidate. There are two main conditions that a candidate can no longer vie for the coming elections. One, if the candidate dies, and two, if the candidate, after swearing an affidavit, presents it, I think, to INEC or to a court or something, declaring that they are withdrawing from the election. I think they might need to state a reason or not, but only a candidate can withdraw. The party cannot substitute names any longer, or if the candidate dies, and I suspect it is highly unlikely that these governors are going to withdraw their candidature for the positions they are vying for. So I don't, and even if the party expels them, I can't say I know for a certain, but I don't see that affecting their candidature either. I don't see that affecting their candidature either, except the PDP is willing to sacrifice the party's interests in the governors winning those positions they are vying for. For example, if the PDP is willing to sacrifice its stake in Oyo State, and that would mean not supporting the re-election bid of the governor, Seyi Makinde, and that means the PDP as well is willing to sacrifice its possible stake in the National Assembly in the Senate, because Samuel Otom, Benue State, Ifeanyi Gwanyi Enugu, Okezie Ekpeazu Abia, they are vying to go to the Senate. There's a possibility to win those elected positions in the Senate, thereby increasing their numbers in the National Assembly. If they really sacrifice that is. And I think the question is, will the PDP be willing to sacrifice the possibility of winning these elected positions just to punish these men? Anyways. Line still open, 0700 923 0923. Hi Dio, yes, they have committed anti-party already. I think the structure in the state should be dissolved and they should be expelled. It's always, they always say the party supreme, Garaba Barrymon said that. Hello, hard fact to welcome.
Hello, Daya.
Yep, go.
How do you mean?
Okay, this is what I mean. If the party expels them, I'm not sure that it's going to affect. Okay, he's gone. So this is what I meant by if the PDP is willing to sacrifice them, and it's just bringing a different perspective to it, So I do not see how anything the party can do will affect the candidature of these persons. The Oyo State governor who will be seeking re-election, the other three governors who have run 8-year terms already and will be going seats in the Senate. If the PDP expels them, or expels them and takes the party structure away from them, or some party structure away from them, maybe suspends them, the PDP could then work against them, which is where the sacrifice comes in. So the PDP could order its structure within the state if it takes the party structure away from them. That if it dissolves the existing structures of the party in the state, and then appoints caretaker committees, structures of the party within the state to work against the ambitions. It could order its structure in Oyo State to work against Seyi Makinde's re-election. It could order the structure of the party in Benue State, in Enugu, I believe, as well, and the other state, Abia State, to work against the ambitions of those governors who are trying to get into the Senate. They could do that, which is where the sacrifice comes in. If it thinks the sacrifice will be worth it, that is. Hello, hard fact to welcome.
Good evening, Dale.
Yeah, go ahead.
You are asking a responsible question. Which people who came on air to make noise to find them? They ask themselves this question you asked. If PDP can they be able to dissolve a from unit to war, to LGA, and to are they supporting that group? First state to start with. Why not you?
What's it for a caretaker committee? I mean, even at the national level, they've had caretaker committees, haven't they?
Are they
So
ready to face the battle.
No, hold on. So if they can have kettle committees at national level, I'm just asking the logical question here. Why can't they have it at state level or even other levels also?
We can allow them to have their, if they can be able to do that. But can you stop election 2023?
No, it won't stop the elections, obviously.
Can you stop the flag bearers? I want to know.
Very likely it won't stop the flag bearers, which is why I raised the issue of the possibility of sacrificing them.
It means they have no case, so they have to go and rest. They say
Governor Yusoke was one of the biggest supporters of the sheriff. How was the APC responsible for that?
And he was the person that removed him. Then Wike has been PDP left him.
Was that so if calm down. I asked you to this. My thing is, and I want you to hear this very clearly. If the G5 governors support formally and officially, openly support the candidature of a different presidential candidate, different from their party, would that be anti-party activity?
It's not. Already.
Okay.
You know, and you have heard, if you don't know, that the article said they should go their way, that he has moved on.
Okay, so when other members of the PDP support other candidates, it's anti-party. But if the G5 governors another... Oh, okay.
On ground.
Okay.
Even in the lockup. With proof. Supporting a play party in a darkness. If you want to play a party, come up only with your reasons and say, have pushing me to the wall.
But it is still anti-party as long as...
It's not that...
it's not anti-party, how private?
Listen, I did not say it's not anti-party.
So it is anti-party?
Yes, it's anti-party. I think play that...
So...
Any person can go and... Let me ask you. By having sitting with
if indeed meetings hold on. He's not holding reported not holding meetings so he can support the PDP candidate. Another party to support your own party, that cannot be considered anti-party.
Okay, you know now, Wike is not playing anti-party.
Okay, all right. Can it be right to withdraw from an election? That's a serious one. I do not think that I don't think a party can do that. I'm not aware that the party can do that. I'm not aware. The party can write INEC to withdraw from an election. I'm not aware. Is it possible? Once again, we have to interrogate the law, the new Electoral Act, but I'm not aware that that's a possibility. Hello, Hard Factor. Welcome. Please go on. All right, go ahead.
Thank you. I'm actually interested in this discussion. The mayor presents two dysfunction. Almost the people we are dealing with are time conscious. The period between us and election is less than 60 days or approximately 60 days. There is no Nigerian court that can handle this issue at the shortest possible time. That's number one. Then number two is that the idea of democracy is transition from bullet to ballot box. Now, if that is true, that is transition from bullet to ballot boxes, what it does imply is that to their space, the candidates. But if you pursue it legally, PP will be linked. That's that mad dog packet. That's exactly what is happening to the presidential function, dissolve the local government. Then you can now see the moral justification for appointing 2,000 political supporters in Rivers State. With that alone, which is covered. And I think the governor is aware of that. That's the more reason why he's pushing for what he wants. And the G5 will get their way. That's the truth.
But are the actions of these governors anti-party?
There is no doubting the fact that it's anti-party. This Republic of Nigeria said about anti-party. Are aware of action on big time to do what they want to do.
So you're saying that
anti-party or no party, the truth
a portion of PDP who are in support of the Rivers State governor, but whatever the case is, you have members of the PDP, and I might restate that you have even high rank